Anyway, so that brings us then to the end of the episode here, where we like to go over our question of the week. This was actually quite interesting. Has to do with a little bit about the Oscars. A very, very subjective question. So I'd love to hear your guys' response to this one. And the question is, which actor or director, you can take it both ways, which actor or director without an Oscar nomination do you think deserves one the most? And so the way we're looking at this is we're going to look at individual performances, in movies of a director or actor instead of kind of lifetime. But you can look at it if you want from a lifetime perspective as well. So, you've one or two? Do you?
I've a few, but definitely
Okay.
I'm pretty strong on.
Okay. Maybe you want to say two because I have two as well. So you can do your first, and I'll do my two.
All right. So yeah, mine is Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler. And obviously, probably a lot of people talk about this, and it's honestly one of the better performances I've seen in a movie. I think he's really, really good. And I mean, obviously the screenplay has a really good arc for his character, but I think just it's such a transformative character. It's so out there, and I think he really delivers just an amazing performance with a lot of different levels to it. And it's the type of thing where you're watching him and his character, and also, I mean, it's just hard to take your eyes off of him. He's just so good, and didn't even get nominated. I think that's pretty outrageous, and yeah, but I think he's really good, and definitely if you haven't seen that movie, check it out.
Yeah, I think that's one of the bigger ones I think people think about, or especially the ones who've seen Nightcrawler. Yeah, that's a big one. And I mean, if you look back in history, there's, probably huge snubs out there, right? So, for me, the first one I'm going to say is Ben Affleck. And I know he's won some Oscars, but I'm going to say for directing for The Town. So we were talking about this before. The Town it only got nominated for one Oscar, which I believe, maybe Best Picture. I think that's fair to maybe argue about that one. But yeah, it only got one nomination. That was for Jeremy Renner, which was richly deserved. But yeah, Ben Affleck for directing The Town. I thought I just really liked the film, and I feel like it is a little bit of something that we've seen before, kind of a bank robber story. But I think it was it was really unique and really kind of personal, focusing on the characters a little bit more, rather than just kind of like the big action heist type of thing. And him and Jeremy Renner were great. I mean, his acting was great in the movie too. I don't know if it was quite Oscar worthy, but his directing, I would say, was. And in that year, I definitely think he really should have got nominated for directing The Town. And maybe if you want to throw it in Best Picture category as well, for sure. So, what was your second one then that you were gonna say?
I think Andrew Garfield in Social Network playing Eduardo Saverin is really good. I mean, I just love the movie, but I think he's excellent, and really, it's an integral part of the movie. I mean, you talk about Jesse Eisenberg, who is obviously amazing, but Andrew Garfield is every bit as important and is really, really good in this movie. And yeah, I think he also should have got a nomination for that.
And it's interesting because Andrew Garfield only, one nomination, and it was Best Lead Actor in Hacksaw Ridge, which I think we both agree that was definitely deserved for that one. So yeah, really interesting one there. I didn't even I've never really heard a lot of talk about that one, but that's definitely a good one. And you were also talking about Jeremy Renner and Wind River, I think, right? That was
sure. I think Wind River even for a Best Picture nominee, Best Cinematography potentially. Yeah, I would say cinematography, potentially picture, and then I think both Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen for lead, or however you're gonna, for lead in supporting or whatever, or lead and lead whatever, for that movie, because I think they're both really good.
Oh yeah. And then my last one, it's got to be a very recent example. It's going to be Bradley Cooper for directing for A Star is Born. I think this is the biggest snub of the nominations for this year's Oscars, and I think a lot of people agree with that one, especially you've seen A Star is Born. I also think a lot went into this. I mean, it was his debut as a director in a big feature film. And so obviously that's going to play a part. But I really thought that he would get nominated for directing. And I think out of all the categories that he was nominated in, if he got nominated for a director, I think that was maybe his best shot at winning.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he really stood a chance in actor. I didn't think he stood a chance in the screenplay, best picture, and well, they won the original song. But so I really did think that he deserved it. They ended up going with the guy from Cold War over Bradley Cooper, which obviously a lot of people talking about that. But anyways, just would have liked to see him in there in that pool. But yeah, so those are kind of my picks. So yeah, we went over about 5 in there, but I'm sure obviously there's some bigger ones out there that you guys can think of as well. But anyways, love to hear your thoughts on that question there.